You ever read something so real that make you want to slap your old history teacher like, ma'am, you lied to me?
It is kind of jacked up to find out that, people around the globe thought that African Americans were immigrants. That's pretty jacked up. Like, all this time y'all thought we were immigrants? I don't understand even why people would think that, because here you have the whole Caribbean, the whole South America, and then we have North America right here. And you would think that, okay, yeah, I mean, everybody else is cool. You know what I'm saying? Jamaicans are Jamaicans, Haitians are Haitians, you know what I'm saying? Why on earth would people think that we are immigrants when we got over here before the founding of the country? Why in the world would people think that we're immigrants? African Americans, I mean. Okay? That is so weird. Like, and to see how it actually affected how they voted. I mean, this really opened up a can of worms right here. This really did open up a can of worms. It affected how they voted. It affected all the things they would say about us for a long period of time. Like, they really thought that we were the immigrants of the United States of America. So how is it that people would think we are immigrants? That makes absolutely no sense. All this time. And see now, then when I saw that Cuban lady on here talking about you know what? African Americans are the only ones who can help us. For the longest time, we have been clowning African Americans, blah, 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 and they're the only ones that can help us. They can't be deported. So, even though the video was honestly true, right? But when you say that, right? You said that out your mouth, right? That means that the only reason why you would even try to be around us at this point is to secure your status here? After talking all that trash? He was talking about Cubans. I'm going to specifically say she was talking about Cuban America. She was talking about Cubans, okay? Nobody else. I don't want to put all the whole. She was talking about that because she was Cuban. She said, "I've always been with them, but if you're gonna kiss anybody's butt, you're gonna have to kiss Black American butt." What? This thing is blowing my mind, really. Because the fact that, because I did a whole video about this, and I was telling someone from out of the country, talking about when we come over to the country, we like to align with white people because that's where we get our success from. And I said flat out, said, you do not get your success from white people. White people don't even want you here. You get your success from black people. That just went completely over a lot of people. Say just like, they're like, how in the world is that? I mean, it seems like the globe does not consider us. And then they would always say, what kind of power do you have? What kind of power do African Americans have? Do you not realize? Do you not realize that there's white people in Congress? And then guess what? Guess who's next? Guess who has the most power in Congress? Black Americans.
Hello tribe, welcome back again to this channel. I go by Sherlock. If it's your first time that you're bumping across it accidentally, and hope you're doing good and great from wherever you're watching us from now. In the face of the renewed political threats to revoke birthright citizenship in the United States, Black Americans have made one thing clear, and that they are not immigrants. And of course, this distinction often is misunderstood or overlooked in the wider immigration debate, and that has become the center of heated reactions, across social media platforms, especially on TikTok, just like we've just watched. But then, unlike immigrant, communities who cross the borders, for opportunity, black Americans were brought to America through the brutal force of slavery. And their roots in the country run deep. Yes, run deep, built on centuries of unpaid labor, discrimination, and systemic oppression. And so when the former president, Donald Trump, proposed ending the automatic birthright citizenships, black Americans didn't hesitate to respond. Many of them pushed back with a powerful message. Yes, a very powerful one, that we are not going anywhere. The phrase "black people can't be deported" began trending not just as a slogan, but as a declaration of identity and history. So we're going to watch across TikTok videos, courtesies of the creators. We're going to watch those particular videos that have, merging, showing our blacks creators responding to sarcasm, anger, and of course historical clarity. Some are even asking, "Deport me where?" And to Georgia, others reminded viewers that the ancestors built America, the roads, the railroads, and cities, and of course the economies. So we're gonna watch, as usual, as you should usually do it here, and then guys, we're gonna circling back at the end of this particular show with my thoughts and comments over the same. Let's keep on watching.
Now I understand that the globe, many, probably the majority, just thought we were just over here. And now it makes sense why every time they look at us, right, they say they don't consider us actual founders of the country. All they do, they sit there and they say slave. When they see us, they say slave. That's what they see. Because I've actually looked at comments and been called it myself, slave. So they're actually living in the 1700s still. The globe is living in the 1700s and the 1800s when they look at us. When they look at African Americans, that's what they look. So that's actually to our advantage in a lot of different ways. So while we were over here fighting for everyone's civil rights, everyone else was looking at us as that. That is so wild to me. And now that the same people they were chasing are kicking them out, or saying we're not going to kick you out. And that's another thing. They're saying we're not going to kick you out, really, if you work in agriculture or in hospitality. They're basically saying we'll let you stay here if you're working the jobs we need worked. That says a lot. Okay, that says a lot. Okay, and the same people that they trying to, get proximity to are kicking them out of the country. Which I said that a long time ago in one of my videos. I'm like, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. What's going on? Flip. I don't know what's going on, but as an African American, just use it to your advantage.
To the African diaspora, a lot of people are upset at the word tether. So let me explain what tether means. Tether is not really an insult, it's a descriptive term. It doesn't describe an African immigrant or somebody who's Afro-Latino, it describes an action. Like, for example, if you watch the movie Sinners, did you know that the first black vampire was Cornbread? First one was Cornbread. The actor who plays Cornbread is actually not from a freedman lineage. I think he's from the Caribbean. You don't think that was on purpose? Ryan Coogler, in an interview, the guy who directed Sinners, he said that he was FBA, Foundational Black American. You don't think that Cornbread being the first black vampire was on purpose? That is symbolism. That's why I love that movie. That is symbolism. Because what a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of people who are outside of our lineage, a lot of times, sometimes, not every time, but sometimes have opinions that are detrimental to our lineage here in Black America, the people who descended from the Black American slaves. Prime example, reparations, right? The Pew Research Center said in 2022 and also 2023 that 77% of Black Americans want reparations. Of the ones who don't, the vast majority are Black immigrants or Afro-Latino. Even amongst Black Americans who are mixed race, they still want it in a majority. The only time you see difference, once again, Black immigrants and Black and Afro Latinos or the Black Hispanics. Okay. Now, aside from that, you look at the opinions of police. A lot of times, African immigrants who don't understand that law enforcement has this grounding in the slave patrol, they have different beliefs, no matter the age group. But then you go look at other issues like, prime example, white supremacy. A lot of African immigrants have a very different relationship to white supremacy than we do here in Black America. I'll give you a prime example, a practical example, not with an African immigrant, but with an Afro-Latino. It was a young Black man named Jamie Johnson who was gunned down by an officer in Florida. The officer's name was Hoshu Gariga, Afro-Latino. This guy was anti-Black, was sitting there texting with his white buddies about how we Black people ain't shit. I mean, all kind of stuff. And then this guy was caught with a 17-year-old, so he got arrested and put away. But again, that shows you this Afro-Latino had this kind of belief. And if you look at some of the deputy gangs, the Black officers who do join are Afro-Latino. None of them are fucking FBA. I know, I happen to be an expert on that. I'm mentioning court documents, federal court documents exposing this shit. Okay? I wish somebody would. Oh, I wish somebody would. My wife is a goddamn stenographer, and one of the reasons why she even married me is because she saw that shit. So please don't play games. All right? That shows you tethering. Do you kind of get it with all those examples? Tethering is when you use Blackness to blend in with us, but you're nothing like us. So a lot of people are really, really upset at how we're circling the wagons around our lineage, but how we're trying to protect our interests like every other group. And when you react negatively to that, that kind of adds more suspicion to you. I started off giving the example from the movie Sinners. And Sinners was all about Black people circling the fucking wagons, but particularly Black Americans. And yet you don't get it. Yet you sit there and quote the movie, you say how great it was and everything else, and you don't get the undertones we were setting there. And that's what tethering is when you want to be is when you want to be us, but you don't have the same experience or the link to the land, and so you just don't get it. You don't pick up on stuff like that, but we do. Because that movie and what you're hearing about reparations, about the police, about white supremacy, that's been our fucking reality. We don't have a different relationship with that stuff, but some of you do. And then it's when you use your Blackness to cosplay as us, and then interject some bullshit opinion, some coon ass opinion. That's tethering. I would not go over to freaking Jamaica and tell them how to live. That's not my place. That's not my homeland. I wouldn't go over to freaking Haiti, even though I put out deep dives about Haiti, about how the freaking CIA and the FBI and US freaking US intelligence harmed Haiti. Yes, I put that out there, but I would never go over to their country and tell them how to live. That's not my lineage. Those aren't my people. I would never go over to the African continent knowing that they have that many tribes out there, a bazillion tribes, but I'm gonna go and tell them about what they should do. That's not my place. And that attitude of me having, it's not my place because I have my people here to influence and talk to and be around, that opinion is not an opinion that many people, not saying everybody, but many people who come over here, that is not an opinion they fucking share. Now, a lot of people say, well, Black people aren't a monolith. You're right. We are not a monolith, except for when it comes to lineage. When it comes to lineage, we agree on reparations, about the cops, white supremacy, that kind of stuff. Is that not a little bit monolithic? There are some things you expect from some parts of the freaking diaspora over others. You see skin bleaching in certain parts of the freaking diaspora. We're not known for that. All right. Certain things that we do here, like Tutnese, Gullah, Hoodoo, that is pretty exclusive. You only really see it here because we made the shit. But other things that we've made, some people from the African diaspora, white people too, other groups too, Hispanics, Asians too, have taken and claimed for themselves. Another reason why we're circling the wagons. That's why Cornbread was the first black vampire. See? We told this guy from a different part of the freaking diaspora, don't you go near them freaking vampires. And what did he do? So I just want you to understand, tethering is an act. It is a descriptive term. It's not just because you're a black immigrant or Afro-Latino. You gotta be that and bring the action. The same way some of y'all call us Akatas, Jareers, Yankees, Abids. Yeah, all these freaking pejoratives. You call us all this stuff, but then you come over here and you get upset when we have a term for a person who undermines us. Yeah, funny how that works.
Who's mad today? Who's mad today are the people who hate to see black Americans feel entitled to this land, feel entitled to this country because it is ours. Who's mad are the people who really, truly hate black Americans, hate to see us coming, love to see us depicted as thugs, love to see us depicted as drug dealers and baby mamas, love to see us depicted as degenerates, hate to see us winning, hate to see us being acknowledged by the President of the United States, hate to see us being celebrated, hate to see us being established as the foundational Americans of this here country. The president knows what's up when it comes to black Americans who have been here. Our ancestors have been here since prior to the foundation of this country, and some of y'all hate to see it. There are black Americans who hate to see us love ourselves. Y'all really believe that there is anybody around here? Look at that. That right there, all of that belonged to my parents. There are people right now in America who believe that the status of black Americans can be removed, can be revoked. There are people in America right now, Americans, who believe that black people can be sent anywhere. Black Americans can be sent anywhere. This is our country. We've been here. We've literally been here since prior to the establishment of the Constitution. And y'all believe that there are people, y'all believe that Donald Trump is so hateful and evil and maniacal. Y'all think he's the devil or something. And y'all believe that he has the power to just wipe out our history. Y'all say that. Y'all believe he has the power to just wipe out our history and put us on boats or ships or planes. I don't know, buses. I don't know how he would do it and just send us away. Y'all believe that we are too weak to fight for what belongs to us. Y'all don't even understand we the only ones been fighting this whole time. We've not been wiped out, okay? Our population has not grown, but our population has been pretty steady, even with mass incarceration, even with the crack and cocaine epidemics, even with redlining, even with them putting projects on top of cemeteries, even with every single way these maniacal forces have tried to eliminate black Americans, we're still here. We're everywhere. We are not some figment of your imagination. We're not just sketches in a book. You don't just find us in museums. We're around and we're staying. We're literally not going anywhere. We don't die. We multiply. And this is a turning point in our history. Things are really about to change, and I'm so grateful for it. What a time to become a mother. What a time to become a mother to an amazing, beautiful black boy. I am so excited. I love it here. How about you?
I've been talking about how African Americans aren't immigrants, and I've gotten a lot of comments to say that everybody's an immigrant except for Native Americans. While that is objectively false, just based on the nature of immigration is voluntary, And they're trying to make up a new term, forced immigration. That don't even make no sense. More like forced migration. So even if it is forced migration and not immigration, how are the Native Americans not immigrants too then, under that same principle? Because civilization started in Africa. So at some point, they had to walk over there. They had to immigrate to that land. So even by using that framework, explain to me how you think Black Americans are immigrants, but Native Americans aren't. I'm asking sincerely. I'm not trying to be, an a-hole about it. I'm asking sincerely. I really want to have the conversation. If you believe that everyone in this country is an immigrant, besides the Native Americans, when does immigration start? Because it's been proven that the first people were in Africa. The Native Americans didn't just spawn on Turtle Island. Explain it to me, please. I'm serious.
Now people are saying that Latinos didn't know that Black Americans are not immigrants. Child, I just don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say to that. It makes sense though, because the narrative that I've always heard about, why don't Black Americans have the same drive or take initiative, or the narrative that we're lazy, even though we worked here for free. Like, didn't you know that? Didn't you know that our ancestors worked for free for hundreds of years? Like, I thought that was common knowledge, but I guess it's not. Like, this is really bad. If this is the case, why do you even need to take away critical race theory? People don't know it now. Might as well leave it in place. They don't know it right now. They don't even know the history of Black people in America. I just don't even know what to say at this point. It's way worse than I thought it was. But I do feel like Paul Mooney, that people are getting their Negro wake-up call, but in Spanish. They Latin wake-up call, they Hispanic wake-up call, because they learn it now.
So wait, people really thought that African Americans were immigrants? Yeah, I know y'all lying. Don't immigrants go like on their own? If they go to a particular country on their own accord, because they may be trying to get away from whatever. We ain't come here because we wanted to be here. We still don't want to be here. Hell, we hoping that they maybe put us out and send us somewhere. Well, what do y'all mean y'all thought we were immigrants? Immigrants? Y'all know the story of how we got here? Do that make sense? Like, this world is so disillusioned about African Americans. We're descendants of Africa, but we've been here for hundreds of years. We're not first generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation, fifth generation. Like, we've been here. We built this country. The foundation of this country is built by African Americans. We didn't come here because we want to be here. Like, what are y'all talking about? Y'all thought we were immigrants. Immigrants? Who? Where? Immigrants? I got papers to prove I ain't no immigrant. Like, some of the stuff that I hear on social media is correct. Like, for real, y'all thought we were immigrants. Come on now. Stop playing. We don't want to be here now. Get us out of here.
Something noticeable that has gone, of course, also viral online is the noticeable that is different between some Latinos communities and Black Americans. In some corners, Latinos seem to celebrate or downplay the amplifications of the executive order, believing that the issue didn't affect them directly. What many fail to realize is that this kind of policy isn't just aimed at one group. Today it may focus on undocumented immigrants, but history shows that once rights begin to erode, they rarely stop with the first target. And that's why Black Americans began to warn, don't celebrate yet, you could be next. Now, this is not just Black issue, it's just not an immigrant issue, it's an American issue. And when the government begins to, question who gets to belong, The danger extends to everyone who looks or sounds different from the norm. Yes. So black Americans, through generations of struggle, understand this deeply. And their message today is one of both resistance and caution. Don't wait until your name is on the list. Stand now, speak now, and then unite. So as the fight, over citizenship, identity, and beginning and belonging continues, the voice of black Americans echoes through the noise. We are not immigrants. We are not temporary. We are America. And for those watching from the sidelines, the time to speak is right now. So guys, I hope you're doing, the thing. The dude dropping us a comment in the comment section of what exactly you think of this particular video, and of course, the whole topic at large. And again, tribe, see you in the next one.